Live on tape without a studio audience from South Wales, it's World View with Dennis Campbell.
Welcome to Worldview for the week of the 30th of September 2013. I'm Dennis Campbell. It's hard to believe we're entering the last quarter of 2013. It's been an amazing 9 months thanks to you, the viewers, and we really appreciate your taking the time to join us. If you're feeling particularly smart today, that's because Mensa, the well-known high IQ society, was formed this date in 1946. Peanuts, the comic strip that features Charlie Schultz as Charlie Brown and Snoopy, debuted in 1950 this week. Tea rationing came to an end for the first time in 12 years after an announcement from the Ministry of Food in 1952. And a guest later this week, Jane London from Tea Beyond, will be very glad to hear that. And work began this week on the sculpture of Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills of South Dakota. And if that's not good enough, the Beatles released their first single in the UK, Love Me Do, which got to number 17 on the 5th of October, 1962. So quite a week we've got coming up. Now, joining us on the program, we've got a number of interesting guests. Julian Ruck, who is a raconteur and a very good commentator from Westminster, will be amongst our first guests this week. We'll also talk with Dr. Dario Linares about the image problem that Ed Miliband has with Labour. And then begins the first of two looks this week at women entrepreneurs. We have two very, very powerful women joining us. Lynn King-Smith, who started Ticket Force, and of course I mentioned earlier Jane London, the owner of Tea Beyond. But first up this week, we're going to talk with Julian Ruck. Now, this week we wanted to focus on the politics of fracking here in the United Kingdom. Joining us on the program is professional roustabout and general thorn inside of the Welsh government, Julian Ruck. Julian trained as a lawyer in London and has worked as a lecturer and manager of legal aid, called the LSC here, and worked on CAB contracts in some of the most deprived areas of the country. He's a regular columnist for the Welsh Press and is an avid freedom of information campaigner. He contributes the weekly Letter from Wales to Westminster's Labour Uncut. But mostly he's a fearless critic of the Welsh establishment, a group whose balloon, in my opinion, needs constant and consistent pricking. Julian Ruck, welcome to Worldview.
And hello to you, Dennis.
Now, we've watched the Welsh Labour Party on fracking particularly go from concern and caution to perhaps it's a good transitionary fuel to now guarded support in a space of about 2 years. So that also means that the Welsh Conservatives could be aligned against fracking because the Labour's for it. Now, this show airs on Monday, but we're taping last week, and a large delegation of anti-fracking protesters appeared at the Welsh Government Synod talking about this process.
When we're talking about unconventional gas, we need to frame the debate in terms of this monumental challenge of climate change. And under those circumstances, we come to the conclusion that these are immoral industries. Immoral because they all know the threat that climate change poses to people right around the planet. They know that wrenching more and more fossil fuels out of the planet can only make things worse. But the thirst for profit drives them nonetheless.
Witness the reaction in the Tory heartland around Balcombe. Fracking was fine when it was up in the desolate north, as the profits being made would boost their dividend payouts and pension funds. But bring it to their doorstep and all of a sudden it is their water turning shades of green and black.
So, Julian, where exactly are the Welsh Tories and the Welsh Government on the process of fracking?
Well, my understanding of the Tory position from my own sources at the Assembly is that they are not against fracking. However, they are extremely cautious about it. I suppose they want to see more monitoring, regulation, etc. To a certain extent, one might even say that the jury's out where the Tories are concerned. Now, where Welsh Labour is concerned, and I would point out here that I spoke with their press office yesterday, and as per usual, evasion prevails, and they weren't prepared to comment on where the Welsh Labour government stands on it. Nothing new there. I mean, the Welsh Labour government are not experts at responding to freedom of information requests either, as no doubt you well know. Now, having said that, I would have to say, to be a wee bit mischievous here, that the biggest thing where Carol Jones is concerned, seems to me, from my reading of the situation, is that it's more about getting more powers to the Welsh Government, as indeed seems to be Plaid Cymru's position. There seems to be little out there in respect of the environmental environmental damage, etc., etc. It's all about, right, we want more powers from Westminster, which of course to a certain extent is becoming rather an old swan song. But where Welsh Labour is concerned, they have highlighted the fact of jobs, which in fairness is a noble enough intent. But they seem to be a little bit, as you say, lukewarm on it all, and certainly my understanding of the situation is, when I researched all this, is that again, it's all about more powers. That's my understanding.
Well, this issue of devolution, of course, does sort of hang over everything and getting more powers for the Welsh Government. Are you saying that they want to have the power to set environmental policy and be able to say yes or no separate from the government? Because what we're seeing with the government is that they want to take away all powers from local authorities regarding this planning process and speed it up.
But of course, you're talking now about Westminster. But I mean, as per usual, as I frequently argue, that Welsh Labour is not Westminster. Indeed, if you take Colin Jones's wonderful speech at the Labour conference this week, where he said, we have different policies from Westminster. Indeed, there has been open warfare to a certain extent ever since Roderick Morgan and Tony Blair, and of course it still goes on. But the agenda, I would have to say, from my own view, it is only a personal view, is again, we want powers over fracking, or licenses, whatever you want to call it. Therefore, we want the bucks. And that's where we are. But of course, I mean, I've afforded them an opportunity to state clearly what their position is. And of course, they haven't done so, so they must allow speculation to run riot.
Well, you've been following the events of obviously Balcombe in West Sussex, and there's the UCG concern in Warwickshire. There's all sorts of discussions now. There's a lawsuit between Scotland and Alex Salmond, particularly appealing a court decision in London, allowing the coal leases to be sold basically underneath the feet of people of Scotland to benefit Tory benefactors. When does this become a dangerous political calculus for the AMs here in Wales, or are they just all in safe districts?
Well, of course, licences have already been granted in Swansea, Meath, Bridgend, Wrexham, etc. And of course, there are undoubtedly huge deposits of coal still in Wales, there to be tapped. It could well, as per usual, come down to money. Politically, I would see Welsh Labour pursuing the economic angle of there being more jobs. Because bear in mind, in 15 years of devolution, Wales now has the lowest GDP in Europe and is the most dependent on the public sector in Europe as well. So far, there hasn't been a wonderful job done, as you well know. On the politics side, as I say, the Tories are remaining a wee bit quiet. Welsh Labour is trying to go its own way. As you pointed out earlier, it's not necessarily towing the Westminster line. But again, nothing new there. My fear would be that if they were to get more devolved powers, what I think we will have when we have to consider the total track record of Welsh Labour, it'll be billions of taxpayers' money being spent on failure.
Julian, the Vale stood up 2 years ago and placed a moratorium, that's the Vale of Glamorgan, on fracking until the Welsh Government gave guidance. That was what they were going to do, and studies were conducted on safety. And then when an appeal was launched by the drilling company, they caved when Welsh Water said they had no objection. Of course they don't. They're going to sell 1 million gallons of water for every well. So what does it take to find some Sir Humphrey Appleby courage to stand up here?
Well, you're asking a bright one here, aren't you? That's a leading question if ever I've heard one.
No, never.
To be utterly blunt about it, I suppose I would have to re-quote Vincent Kane recently in the BBC, where he in turn quoted Cromwell and said, "You have sat long enough, go." He could, of course, have been a wee bit more pointed and said, isn't it time to frack off? But Who knows? I mean, it's frightfully difficult to get answers. It always is.
It does seem in so many ways that they are trying to put this on the fast track when the rest of the world is now walking away from these very dirty, high carbon impact fuels. I mean, we've got such great resources here in this country for renewable and sustainables, whether they be wind or the solar, or even the Severn River Barrage project. I mean, there'll be enough energy just with our second highest in the world tidal flow to handle Wales's needs for the next 2 centuries. Why are these not a priority?
I have no idea. Again, why is it not a priority if you take Swansea and the Gower Peninsula, where there is possibly a very big threat in respect to marine life, fish, cockles, etc., and that doesn't seem to be playing very high on the agenda. Certainly the environmental impact. Certainly, again, from my reading of the situation where Welsh Labour are concerned, it is, again, for one being repetitive here, it comes back to my instinct, which is telling me, right, this is a good excuse to go for more devolved power over the finances of Wales, and pity help us on that one as far as I'm concerned. But the reasons, as you say, Westminster are stressing really quite strongly that they will hold fire until they know the regulation is right, the monitoring procedures are right, in order to be presumably in the public domain. As far as I know, there's been very little said along those lines in Cardiff Bay. So you tell me.
On that note, we shall see, as the government is a constant conundrum. Thanks for joining us today. We'll have to do this again. It seems we live in a very target-rich environment when we start talking about the Welsh Government.
Oh, we do indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Julian Ruck is a provocateur, journalist, and author of the Rugged Cliffs trilogy and a legal thriller called The Bent Brief on his website and blog at julianruck.co.uk. You're watching Worldview with Dennis Campbell. Keep it right here.